I am.
It's the pop song.
Uh,
Did you pour water over there?
yeah.
That's mine. So
You're pressing the things on the side.
Yeah.
Can we give about 30 seconds?
You said what?
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Bring it here.
Okay.
Sure.
Liz, I have never pronounced your last name. Abuna?
Abuna.
15
Abuna.
seconds.
15 seconds until community chatter.
No.
Oh, wait.
We're going right in. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hi there, it's Wynona Redmond. It's time to win because it's time for Community Chatter, brought to you by Win-Win Communications.
Hey there, it's Wynona Redmond. I'm so happy to be in holding it down for the Brunch Bunch today. The wonderful co-chair, the co-host, Tamara Fair and the Marcel Action Jackson are out doing what they do today, making the world a better place. And it's a busy week. Congressional Black Caucus starts tomorrow, but the faith believers, the Inspiration 1390 audience for the Brunch Bunch, please, please, please lift up our sister, Dr. Carol Adams, and her family in prayer. We need all the prayer warriors to send Dr. Adams strength and prayer as her family has health challenges that they are facing. But please pray for Dr. Carol Adams, our sociologist, former head of DuSable Museum, Melody Span Cooper and Andre Grant and Dr. Ron Sam. A lot of us call her we call ourselves the Dr. Carol Adams alumni because she was head of African American Studies way before DuSable and Northeastern, and even before the Obama campus. Dr. Carol Adams, we love you and we pray you strength. So, community chatter today. We've got some real good women. I was talking with Kiana Barrett, the head of the Business Leadership Council today. We don't have to wait for October coming up with Small Business Month. It's almost like the 365 days. We've got business and we've got great businesses. So I'm so happy to have on Community Chatter another Shiro marketing guru, the Yvette Moyo. And Rael is coming in too. But Yvette, you have been a marketing genius in multiple facets, from starting Real Men Cook to now running the Quarry, but to just do all that you do. Welcome, Yvette Moyo. I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Rael is going to have to introduce himself. But another new friend, Liz, is just been, I only met Liz a couple of years ago, and I heard somebody walking around talking, knowing a lot of stuff about grocery and retail, because I was at Dominic's over 10 years, and when we were walking around, I started meeting her at the Austin African Business Networking Association, and this woman was talking about opening a grocery store on the west side, and it came to fruition. Liz Abunau. Abuno. I'm waiting for her to help me pronounce it, because we've never called her anything but Liz. And 40 Acres Fresh Market welcome. A grand opening this Saturday.
We're open currently, but the grand opening celebration is on Saturday.
Right. So she did, in grocery, you have a soft opening and then you have a grand opening with the big parties and coupons and giveaways. But welcome, welcome, welcome. You're open. I saw that look. But ladies, welcome. We're gonna have a conversation this show. Community chatter is shining a light on things that are not as well known. My dad, Bobby Wright, he watches Hidden Figures faithfully, just like he watches The Fugitive because he was in it when he was a police sergeant at Cook County Hospital. But he watches Hidden Figures faithfully, at least about once every month or two. And if you're not a hidden figure, then you are in the light. So we like to keep chatter up around news. But Yvette, we're gonna start with you.
Okay.
So Yvette, I see about 5 different hats from the publications you've started, but the one November is National Family Caregiving Month, and I dedicate everything to my mother, Lucy Redmond Wright. But she being a caregiver, I know you're caring for your mom and your legacy, and you've been a great matriarch, and you created a business, a marketing business that you've passed on to your son. But welcome, introduce yourself and tell us sort of the stack priority of Yvette.
Well, today the stack priority is just to continue serving the community, supporting my son, Rael Jackson. As we continue with the quarry, we've done quite a few things with the faith community. We are building Black business all the time. In the magazine Southside Drive, the articles are there. So you go SouthsideDriveMag.com, read articles that in the byline is the Guide to the Good Life, Chicago. And that's really what it's about.
Okay.
And even Rael, you'll see an article in there for health and wellness and fitness and eating right, and coming from someone from his generation to just talk about what his lifestyle is like. And he's very active on Facebook and always talking about walking and talking about dancing and talking about being uplifted in this particular time that we're in. That's so important. And that's kind of why our brands resonate so much with Real Men Cook, the annual Father's Day events that are 36 years old now. But we celebrate that every single day. We say if men are cooking, every day is Father's Day when real men cook. And you'll see a lot of
that
guys
was what
cooking
my dad and my brothers, they always went to that event. And so I know because I told Calvita Frederick Sewell that I met her daughters in their stroller when she started Magnolia Spice Teas. So that's been 36 years for sure.
And of course, we have pictures of President Obama with his holding youngest daughter. And I remember asking him to come to the stage. And he was very, not that well known, but he said, no, I have to take them to the kids pavilion. And so, that's the kind of legacy we have. But the beauty of it is that it continues at the quarry, in South Shore, which was the impetus of business activity, ownership activity in South Shore.
And folks that don't know the quarry, they need the address and what it is. And so.
Okay. I can do that.
So tell us about the quarry.
The Center is located right off of Yates. So we have a half block from Yates to Phillips. So
in Hyde Park.
In South Shore.
I'm sorry, I'm saying South Shore, but
it's
in
easy
South
to
Shore.
Get to from Hyde Park.
It's really close to Hyde Park.
Feel like, well, I don't get to South Shore much.
So the
South
exact
Shore
address
is 2423 East 75th Street. It's actually 2419 to 2427. East 75th. So within that space are 2 rooms or entertainment venues, one with the stage that can hold 150 people, and one, the smaller one that holds about 85 people with screens, TV screens and activities. We have a liquor license, so there's a bar. So everything from baby showers to repasts to even celebrations for churches that have their own spaces, but they want to take the community out. Last year we had Trinity do their senior luncheon at the quarry, and it was full packed on both sides. We love it when that happens. So
now I'm getting ready to pivot over to Liz, because you've got a strong marketing background, Yvette, and I know part of Real Men Cook. Liz, get this. Of course, Dominic's was a big sponsor when I was at Dominic's 20 years ago, but Yvette also did I remember you came out with a real man cook hot sauce. You came out with, didn't you come out with a pound cake
sweet
or?
potato pound cake mix. I have been, I have been so creative, and I have worked from my heart. And so the
And
business model is not what it might be for other people, but it's like what we need is what I do. And that, thank you
and
for
you
putting
know,
us in
everybody
dominance
talks
and
about
fun.
Black excellence. And but Liz, I'm not gonna read your bio. I don't have my reading glasses, but give us your background because we celebrate you and the fact that you have opened. We have not had a grocery store in Chicago. I think there was one like 20 years ago on Madison. But we've had many different attempts. But you have opened a phenomenal real grocery store that just happens to be Black woman owned, but a real excellent grocery store in the food desert. But give us your background and tell us how this came to be because the proof is in the pudding.
So I am not from Chicago. I'm from upstate New York, born and raised. After college, I moved around the Midwest for the most part because I worked for General Mills for 10 years in sales. So if you work in sales at a CPG company, your customers are grocery stores.
Mm-hmm.
So I lived in Minnesota, Michigan, Minnesota again, and then got back east in Philly, and then decided I wanted out of grocery. I wanted out of food. I was done. So I went to business school at the University of Chicago for my MBA to kind of pivot my career.
So you are a Chicago product too.
Yeah. So I moved to Chicago to go to business school. I went to business school to get out of grocery, and about 3 years after graduating business school, grocery's like the mafia. Just when you think you're out, it pulls you back in. And so I'm not from the West Side. I never lived on the West Side. I was running an errand that took me to the West Side, and I didn't even know.
Some folks say Best Side. You found it. Okay.
I did, but like I didn't know. I mean, when I moved here, I lived in the South Loop. I lived in Lakeview. I currently live in Westtown.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, it's a city of neighborhoods, and
It's a city of neighborhoods.
People typically stay within 2 or 3 neighborhoods where all their stuff is. We're not going to every single neighborhood in the city for everything. So I didn't know anyone on the West Side, so I had no reason to go to the West Side until one day I was running an errand and didn't even know that errand would take me to the West Side, and I wound up on the West Side, got a little lost, and needed cash to run that errand, and I couldn't find a bank.
Mm-hmm.
I then couldn't find a CVS or a Walgreens or some type of pharmacy or some place where
you ran into the desert side of the West Side.
Well, I don't believe in corner store ATM fees. I don't believe in paying $5 to get out $20. I'm just cheap like that. And I was trying to find anything where I could just, for a very low cost, get money out, and I couldn't. And the only thing available to me was a gas station ATM. And I'm looking around, and I was like, "Where am I?" I didn't even know what neighborhood I was in, but I was on Chicago Avenue in Laramie, and it was very difficult for me to do something that if I was in Westtown, if I was in Lakeview, would be very easy for me to do, and that's either find my bank or be able to make a quick purchase of something small and get cash back without paying an exorbitant ATM fee. And that experience just kind of crystallized the tale of two cities for me. And I'm not going to say the next day I was like, yay, 40 Acres Fresh Market, but it's flipped a switch that changed my perspective on how I saw the city. And all of a sudden I started asking myself why the things I enjoyed in Lincoln Park or Logan Square, why isn't it in that neighborhood that I got lost in?
That's a very good question. And thank you for even asking or thinking that question.
So there used to be this grocery store over on North and Elston called Stanley's.
I remember Stanley's.
I loved me some Stanley's.
I remember Stanley's.
It was like this really inexpensive produce market. And I think I was buying strawberries there for $1. And I was like, why is this store that's in Lincoln Park, one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in Chicago, why is something like this not over in that neighborhood where I couldn't find anything? And I kept saying somebody should make a Stanley's or make something like that over there. Somebody should do it. And eventually I had, insanity. I was like, I should do it. And
all right. On that, right. Stay right there because we're going to take a break. And when you said you should do it, let's go to Charles Jenkins. We'll be right back because we're winning. And so we'll take a break. On that note, we're going to come back and hear more about that manifestation. Charles Jenkins wrote my theme song.
Okay.
We're gonna play this off a little bit. We have some commercials.
Somebody should talk me out of it.
I know what you mean.
You guys are good. That's another marketing
Like,
system.
the actual brick and mortar.
Yeah, I'm like, who let me do this? I need new friends because my friends are terrible friends. Friends don't let friends open grocery stores.
They'll pump shop there. They'll be all right. They will.
It's a great setup.
The last full service one was Farmer's Best in Back of the Yards by Kareem Baya back in like I think
Yes.
2000.
You knew Kareem was that real man cook on a regular?
I think it was 2008, 2009. It was like maybe I got here in 2012, and I think the store closed. It closed within like a year of opening, maybe 14 months of opening. And so maybe it was like 2010, 2011. So I just missed it.
And working for Safeway nationally, you know, we still can't believe Greg Calhoun is dead. But he used to come on his private jet and used to take Reverend Jackson wherever he wanted to go. But he was the grocery store mecca in the South. He would bring his
Calhoun's. I've heard of Calhoun's.
Yeah, they would come to Chicago often. And we did the grocery retail grocery pieces at FMI.
I mean, it's an industry where you can lose your shirt really quickly. Like, I just got my first electricity bill, and I damn near fell over.
Really?
So for $6,000. But I mean, with all that refrigeration and the lights and I mean, I'm shocked. I thought it was going to be like maybe 1,000, 2,000.
It was $6.
$6 though. I'm like, ComEd, you need to come out here and do an energy assessment.
Have you talked to them with their the business side?
No, it is the business side.
But I mean, have they helped you on any other fronts?
ComEd was the ops during construction. I mean, it took us 22 months for a 9-month construction project, and like a good 3 months of that was just waiting on ComEd to come out and do what ComEd was supposed to do. Like,
Malcolm didn't call him for you.
I mean, what can Malcolm do? Like, he can't make ComEd move. I mean, we had electeds calling. Everybody was calling. And ComEd, they would come and then like they'd have the wrong work order. They would come and then there's like, oh, I'm only supposed to do this thing over here. You still need to have this thing checked. They'd come, and then the design that we built that somebody else approved, they'd be like, nah, this isn't the code, so you got to do it over again. We'll be like, no, this is what they told us to build. So, no, everybody always asks that kind of stuff. Like when we were waiting for a permit for construction, well, can't you call? I'm like, there is nothing. There are certain people think that like there's somebody that like the magic button that somebody can push, and that person will make something happen. And it doesn't work like that. So, we reached a family like 3 years ago.
That's right. Call Secure Home and Automation today at 866-447-3344 and take control of your safety.
Which part did you shut down? You talking about the store?
The pouring was shut down for like 4 months. I was in the hospital.
Okay.
I got
Tuesday 20 seconds.
12:30. Tune in right here on the Brunch Bunch for community chatter. Each week, community chatter shines a light on the
We never
people,
go to Laurel
passions,
Avenue.
and powerful
Sometimes you
stories
don't
Unless
know.
you don't know how you, if you know where you're going.
10 seconds.
To the Brunch Bunch Tuesdays at
Come back to
12:30,
say
so
welcome
you
back.
don't miss community chatter.
5,
Brought to you by Wynona
4,
Communications,
3,
where together we
2,
win.
1.
Well, welcome back. It is the Brunch Bunch, and this is Wynona Redmond. Of course, it's Community Chatter. Tell me something good Tuesday, and but I'm holding it down for Tamara Fair and Marcel Action Jackson as they are taking the Brunch Bunch and doing real business all over. But the Brunch Bunch, we're holding it down. We got Justice in the house and Zoe. So the Brunch Bunch team is reporting in full and in effect. And of course, Renita Dumas from Win-Win. But we have 2 great guests. And it's all about making sure folks leave better informed than when they came. And as we look at, these are times where none of us are as good as all of us. And it's so important that we support each other because we have everything we need. It's in the house. So Liz you were talking about you saw Stanley's and you like Stanley's, and you have even though you're from upstate New York, you do have a Chicago play card because you went to University of Chicago for your business piece. So, but you saw Stanley's, you got lost on the west side and didn't see a CVS, a ATM. You didn't see a lot of things, and you thought about a grocery store.
When the only tool in your tool belt is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And when you've worked at General Mills for a decade, I guess every problem seems solvable by grocery. I don't know.
Well, I was at Safeway and Dominic's for over 10 years, and it is such a great business. Even as we talk in the Business Leadership Council, the best job in the world is retail. How many elected officials and high-ranking CEOs say they got their first job at McDonald's? They got their first job at the grocery store. And I've seen so many presidents and CEOs that work their way up from bagger to president CEO. One of the presidents I worked for at Dominic's years ago, he said when he got hired as a bagger and he had to collect carts, he raced himself every day to make sure that he was the fastest one. I've heard people in the high echelons of UPS that talked about they made sure they delivered their packages and mail on a rate. So when we tell our young people the best training in the world is retail, and my mother was the first PR person I met. She talked to everybody. She talked to people in the grocery store lines, and those families and generations that work in a grocery store, they give advice to new mothers on formula. They give advice to new wives on recipes. But so when you open a business like the grocery store, you open a community resource and store. So you thought about a grocery store and you thought about this. So when was the concept to reality? Because you've been on a journey. So how did you make all of those steps to actually getting the name and brand of 40 Acres?
So I guess I had the accidental, I Columbused the West Side in the fall of 2016. By 2017, I was like, maybe I want to do this. At the time, I was working for Microsoft, and Microsoft had a round of layoffs. And so my job was impacted, and I quickly realized that they paid me well enough where I don't have to work. I don't have to go right back to work. So I thought the
Good
timing,
position.
I thought the timing was such that if I wanted to try this, now would be the time to try it. So by January of 2018, 40 Acres Fresh Market launched, which is with its first pop-up market at Sankofa Cultural Arts and Business Center.
Great.
So basically, Malcolm Crawford let me take over the community room space and turn it into a fresh produce market for 4 hours from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. I went to my undergraduate chapter of my sorority, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, UGamma chapter. I went to them and I was like, who does your flyers? They told me the chick on campus who does their flyers. I was like, I need a logo. I'll pay you $150. And she made the logo and I just went from there.
And where did the name come from?
40 Acres?
I know we know the historic mean, so you just literal,
like we black. I'm black.
Okay.
It's very simple for me.
I love the name 40 Acres
and
Fresh Market.
I like alliteration.
Mhm.
So I wanted a name that we would recognize as being us.
Yes.
And I wanted to represent the actual geographic community, the demographic of the actual geographic community that I wanted to operate in.
And so you gotta give us some highlights of what's in the store. You're gonna have the grand opening. You're opening now. How do people find your sales and your website? And then I'm gonna flip back to another marketing guru that you guys will be connected today forever. Okay.
The store is located at 5713 West Chicago Avenue. It is a full-service grocery store, so you will find a robust produce department, meat and seafood with a service meat counter with experienced butchers. We took 2 butchers from Butcher and Larder over in Lincoln Park. They come from there. They're excellent. We have hot prepared food at Mabel's Meals. That's
Wonderful.
Run.
Our people like the hot food section.
People love our hot food section. We have a rice bowl menu. That's our feature. 3 signature rice bowls, as well as the option to build your own, plus sides. Like,
You got any cauliflower rice?
it doesn't hold up well on the line.
Okay.
So I think we're going to do quinoa.
Okay.
We have yellow and white rice right now. We got sides like collard greens, roasted vegetables, mac and cheese.
Every day?
Every day. We're
What are
open
your
every
hours?
day. We're
What are-
open every day. We're open.
What are your hours?
8 o'clock a.m. to 8 p.m. So if you're like me and like to wait to the last minute to get to the grocery store, like, you can roll out at 7:30, hit us up. We're open until 8.
And then what product line? So you have the traditional brands. You have any private label?
We
Or...
have it all. So we have your
So you can
General
get Tide.
Mills. You can get, yes, we have Tide. We have Arm & Hammer. We have like the discount value brand Extra. We carry private label, a really, really high quality private label products, as well as your national brands. We have it all. It is a full service
So
grocery
folks
store.
can come 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. to where?
5713 West Chicago Avenue.
And then the actual website, social media, how do they find you?
So it is 40acresfreshmarket.com. That's the word 40, not the number. And 40 is spelled Forty. There is no U in 40.
Thank you for helping us spell.
No worries. You can catch us on Instagram at 40 Acres Fresh Market, on Facebook at 40 Acres Fresh Market, on TikTok at 40 Acres Fresh Market.
And you got a grand opening.
The grand opening is at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, September 27th. It's a joint grand opening with PNC Bank because they have also opened up a branch right next door.
We love PNC,
So
Paul
banks,
LeBon and all of our guys, Tony. So you
grocery
got
stores and banks are like peas and carrots, you know.
That's wonderful. So Yvette, going back to you, you skipped over your background and your marketing and all of that before you started Real Men Cook, before you did South Shore Drive and the publication and all and the Quarry and all of that. And because you've had to deal with brick and mortar, you've had to deal with all kinds of recessions, but definitely the food industry and the retailers and the grocers. And right now when we're here seeing all of the health issues for our community and access to fresh produce and access to how are we combating the heart disease, how are we combating diabetes and high blood pressure if we have access to real healthy items. And so it's almost like you talked about your publication and the articles, but you're teaching real men to cook and real men teaching to cook.
Yes.
Hearing what Liz has said about, I know you've got a strong retail engagement with CPGs as well.
Yes, we have had, and we just want to speak to the future because what we have done, we had up farmers market in the Quarry for every Saturday for 2 years. We now have markets that are taking place, or farmers markets like the Merrill Garden and other places in South Shore, which we support. But we do have relationships with UIC Cancer Center, and we have healthy cooking demonstrations there. We have association with University of Chicago Medicine, who is a sponsor of Real Men Cook. They're always serving the healthier items there. We have just a program where we are always including health and wellness and everything that we do at the Quarry. And the people that book the Quarry are there speaking health, speaking wellness, speaking self-care, mental health, etc. So all of that is part of what we've been involved with. So yeah, I have a history. I've done a lot of stuff.
The holiday season is coming up.
Yes.
So give us your address and your website and what kind of events. You got jazz getting ready to start back.
Yes, jazz.
Dr. Carol Adams is a big jazz fan, and she was like, "Oh, jazz coming back." So what's going on?
Well, we have a brunch that is a jazz brunch that's coming up October the 5th. And that is where you come, you have live music, performances, the full dinner available, and mimosa for those who want to do that. And that is happening on the 5th of October.
And are you going to do it repeated monthly, or is this just?
It's a variety of things. We might be repeating monthly, but mostly people rent. So the idea is that whatever the audience, the listening audience has, we are receptive to that, and our venue is available on Sunday.
And before they
So-
book up for the holidays, how do people reach out to you? What out? So you're 7 days available.
Yes.
How do they rent the quarry?
The number is 312-259-1143. And
spell it. Liz spelled 40
yes,
because
that's
everybody
right.
don't know how to spell the
It's not
quarry.
the query.
The query.
The
The quarry.
Things at the query. I'm like, I don't know. That's a nice,
We're not
that's a nice
query.
query, right? I'm trying to answer that myself. But it's the quarry, Quarry. And it was called the quarry before we moved in. If you know rocks, it's a rock quarry. This is where you find diamonds and jewels.
Mhm.
So in our perspective,
Mhm.
you see rocks, we see diamonds. And
Mhm.
so that is what it's about. So you come in to our community, which has been very
I love it.
Yes, very undeveloped community. But when you come to the quarry, you get quality service. You get the idea that this is Black owned, that this is valuable. And everything from family reunions to Thanksgiving dinners that families rent now, because it's so hard to have that traditional family dinner when nobody knows how to cook. Everybody doing microwave or picking up from the hot bar, right?
I mean,
And so,
come on over.
yes, so
Yes.
we come and you can do that. You can rent
And
the
I got to
quarry
go
for that.
back west, so you got to tell me what's on the hot bar menu today. Is you got what kind of
It's the
fish?
same.
What
It's
kind
the
of fish
same.
you got?
So the hot bar does not do fish. We do, for the proteins, it's chicken, beef, pork carnitas, and
Wow.
a black eyed pea fritter for our plant-based friends.
Oh, that black eyed pea fritter. Those are good.
It's
Okay,
amazing.
and we're gonna help do a hybrid merge from the
Yes,
west
we
side to
should.
the
And we
south
got
side
fish.
because
We
we're gonna
got fish over
we
there
we
on
gonna we gonna
Fridays.
we gonna get some salmon croquettes on there even if
Yes.
it's on Sundays.
Right.
I'm gonna be visiting and
Okay, and we
helping.
got some
But
chefs that'll step up to the plate for that. A lot of people rent the quarry just to do it like Friday fish fries for their own social network, where they have a place that looks like a private club, etc., with drinks. So we have the liquor license, we have the entertainment license. A lot of
Nice.
venues cannot do entertainment, and they
and
get in trouble for doing it.
and I know Pam Smith, a good friend. I know that they've done book signings, some
Yes.
historic book signings.
We saw Regina Taylor, the actress, actually do her one-woman show at the
Right.
quarry. So dance groups, dramatic groups, and every
But
time
but
we have some-
October 5th, the jazz brunch,
yes, it's called Heaven Bound.
Who's gonna be playing and who's gonna be performing?
Antonio Brunton is going to be the performer, but
Okay.
Antoine, I'm sorry, and also of course Tony Carpenter is our resident music director and producer, and he is a world-renowned percussionist. So at the quarry, you also always have our traditional drums and
Okay.
sometimes the community drums in front of the quarry. That's part of our mental health and wellness project for the community, because a lot of times you have people walking by and they don't know what's inside and they don't feel worthy sometimes to come in. And so we do the welcoming with our African drums, and by then
You need
get
any
people to
drums
come
on
in.
Saturday?
We have a DJ.
Okay. So they're welcome.
And we got
Okay.
DJs. We
Okay.
got DJs. But I can't wait to get over to the 40 acres. We also have for October we have a full lineup.
So
of
what?
activities.
So your lineup is Monday through. What days are you open?
Well, we're open every day because every day somebody can book something. Everything from, like I said, baby showers to repasts. So this is for family, community, business, young adults who just want their own space to party or create something, art shows, all kinds of programs. That number is 312-259-1143. And they're waiting for the call. And all you do is rent it out. We have linen, we have the chefs that we can recommend.
And you already
etc.
have the table and chairs because I've had events there. You don't
Yes.
have to go out and get anything. You've got everything in house.
It's a wonderful
And
event
the
center. We have
AV
a
and
team.
sound system, unlike when
Oh,
you go
yes.
to hotels and you
have
have
to
a whole,
pay so much money to
and you have
just get-
required
right. You
vendors.
can't even plug in some places without paying somebody. But that we have an AV package that is great, and just we serve people, and we have a great team over there at the quarry waiting to serve the public. And all they have to do is call that number and book their event. But we do have Friday night at the Quarry as a regular coming. So we have the brunch on the 5th, which is called Heaven Bound.
And how much are the tickets? And
Those tickets
40 to
are
50?
$40 to $50, and also there's a senior rate that's lower.
Oh, nice.
And you have your full dinner and a drink with that. And then Friday night at the Quarry, October 10th, 17th, November 14th, and 21st are also opportunities to be at the Quarry with live music.
And before we go off the air, we doing our 5-minute countdown. We're gonna let Rael.
Yeah, he's the boss.
We're gonna let Rael at least come in when you talk legacy. But Liz, you're open. We haven't had lunch today. We definitely encourage folks to go on over to 40 Acres. You heard I can try some of those black eyed pea fritters, and you are right at
5713 West Chicago Avenue. We are open now.
And
the grand opening is Saturday, but we are open now. Today, tomorrow.
And you got a meat counter, so these people can go get fresh cut.
We can. The butchers can cut your meat to whatever size you want. We just got in lamb, and we do whole animal butchery. So we butchered
the whole pig.
No, the whole lamb.
The whole lamb.
We butchered the whole entire lamb. So there's like lamb chops, shanks, legs. We have goat. There's beef. We have great ground beef. We do an amazing house-made turkey burger, sausage patties. But like, this is the thing, is that at this store, you're getting something that you don't get at Jewel or Mariano's. They're moving away from real butcher counter. It's more so box meat that they slice. So we do in-house butchery at 40 Acres Fresh Market.
And what about turkeys when the holiday season comes?
We'll have those too. It's a full service meat department. I don't know how else to say this is a full service grocery
and what
store,
about the seafood side? You got your catfish.
So right now, because we are in soft opening, we haven't done the fresh fish because it's so perishable, and so we're waiting for Grand with more foot traffic so that we can move through that quickly. But we also have amazing frozen fish, from salmon to catfish to mussels to.
You got my scallops?
Scallops, yeah, we do have scallops.
Okay, I'll see you later today.
And
before we always run out of time, but Rael Jackson, the second generation of a great mindset, we'll come on. So payments for. What payments do you accept?
We accept it all. We accept Link. We accept credit cards. We accept Apple Pay. So you can tap if you want.
Are you on Instacart?
We are not on Instacart at this point.
Can we do any remote orders from you?
Actually, you can. We have a produce box delivery service that we've had for years. So if you go to 40acresfreshmarket.com, click on delivery, you can sign up for either a subscription or you can do a one-time order. And we deliver boxes of fresh produce starting at $10 all the way up to $30 right to your door. All fruit, all veg, or a combination of both, or mix and match.
Okay, we down to 2 minutes. So Rael, you can do a produce box delivery for your brunch sometimes. Come on, Rael, give us as we close out. We've heard about the Quarry. You got the Brunch Bunch coming up. People coming for a holiday. Real Men Cook. Yes. You guys have an impact on health, and Yvette was just talking about your columns. Grocery, entertainment, mental health, culture. This we got to save our lives, and so Rael, we're gonna give you the last word.
Well, the most exciting thing that I have coming up is tomorrow we have a conversation with Ryan Fest on education about literacy, because I think that literacy is the pathway to our growth and to our people. And we're talking about boys reading by third grade at their reading level. That's one of the pillars of also My Brother's Keeper, which is part of the Obama Foundation.
Absolutely.
So tomorrow, the doors will open at 5:00, and at 6:00 we will have this conversation around education featuring Ryan Fest. And as you know, he's a 2-time Grammy winner and has an Academy Award, but he's our elected school board representative for Chicago. And I think we have a lot of programming coming.
We're out of time. Okay. So they come tomorrow at 5:00. What address and how do they find?
2423 East 75th Street.
Is it free or is there a cost?
Free tomorrow, and we will have food as well.
Okay, that sounds good. You rounded it off. Education. I'm gonna help you with the school tours of the grocery store. So thank you guys for joining us. we always try and leave you better than you came, and we shine the light on some greatness, excellence in our community. And thank you for holding it down. The Brunch Bunch was held down by Justice and Zoe and Renita. So Tamara Fair and Marcel Action Jackson will be back, but this was community chatter. Tell me something good Tuesday.
All right.
I just spent 45 minutes with the parking garage underground. Yeah,
It's happening to everybody.
It hurt my feelings.
I drive around up top and park.
But I took the bus.
Okay.
I would just park here if I hadn't used the spot here. And then I saw all sorts of parking spaces.
Courage is
It's all right. I said everything you
to
wanted
do
me to
it.
say.
So one of the best things you could
So
ever
we're gonna
do
take a
is
group photo
surround
out
yourself with people
Thank you,
who
guys.
have courage.
And
It's time to get
we'll take
going.
a
You
group
ready?
photo.
Come
You
on,
going to
family.
the store from
Let's
here?
go.
I have to go back home first, but then I have to get my car because I have to get my car.
Oh,
I drive here.
okay, because I was gonna say we could drop you off. Hey there, good seeing you. I'm gonna have to make sure my godson knows about what you're doing tomorrow. Okay.
I mean, I'm actually directly east of here, so I could still use.
All right. I can drop you off because I have to be at Sinai. Okay, thank you guys.
But I don't have to be at the store for you to be at the store.
No, I'm gonna be going to Sinai's personal app. They're doing a meet.